What is up, guys and girls? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all having fun, and I hope you're all getting out on the water as much as possible. Reckless Riders is now here in La Ventana, Baja California, Mexico, and we are enjoying our time here in Mexico, away from the European cold. We are getting out on the water every day and trying all types of foiling so that when we're back in roads, we can give you the best experience ever. We're coming back at you today with another video, wingfoiling, obviously again one more time, and this time we're talking about the jibe. Now if you've seen our previous wingfoil videos, you probably already know how to control your wing. Hopefully you are already getting up on the foil and you're picking up some speed and getting some rides throughout your foiling. Now you're sitting there thinking, hey, I'm riding, it's all going well, but I can't turn yet, so what do I need to learn? Number one turn you probably want to learn is the jibe. Now the jibe can be a little bit tricky, but hopefully with the tips and tricks I'm going to give you here, we'll accelerate that learning curve and we'll get you going around the jibe nice and smoothly and as easily as possible. So the jibe is the downwind turn, obviously, and if you know windsurfing or even kite surfing with a surfboard, it's the same thing, right? It's a downwind turn that's going to get us around our turn without stopping at all and flying through the other side. Now, when you're jibing, what do you want to take care of? First of all, you want to have speed. And I know that some people don't like speed, or they like to go nice and slow when they're trying new things, but like with anything in wind sports, the faster you go, the smoother and easier it will be. So try to get yourself going as fast as possible throughout that turn. Now, let's see that. So as we're riding here, our wind here is coming side onshore. So like I'm pointing right here, I'm going to be riding normally a little bit more upwind there. So when I'm going downwind, I should be pointing to you guys watching me. So as I'm riding here, I'll go downwind. To do that, obviously just put the wing forward, go downwind a little bit, let that wing pull you forwards, accelerate speed as much as you can, and now we're going to start going into our carve. Just before we get into the carve, what I like to do when I'm teaching people when they're beginners, because when you go around the carve like I'm going to show you now, you're probably going to accelerate the speed, right? It's just physics. You're going to accelerate through the turn, which makes your foil breach if you're riding right at the top of your foil. So it's better to get a bit lower to the water. Obviously you don't want to be touching the water or anything. I'm not talking about being all the way down here. We just want to be, let's say, this high on your mast, so you have some extra space to make mistakes and to kind of go higher and lower when you need to throughout the turn. The better you get on the jibe, you don't need that, but in the beginning we want to be safe rather than sorry. So like we said, as we're going here, going forwards, we go downwind, and now we're going to start our carve. When we start our carve, we want to do that through the hips, right? Especially for any windsurfers out there, there's no big carve like this. We're not bending over, we don't need to pull it. We're on a foil, it's nice and sensitive. Take your time and feel the little moves that you need to do to get yourself around. So, like we said, we use the hips, we start turning around. Now, one of the biggest mistakes people make, besides the too much of a carve, is that while they're going around, they're holding all that power in the wing here, and what that does, it either pulls you off the board or it really unbalances you throughout your carve, and you can't really control the height and stability of your foil. So what we're trying to do, what would be better to do, is pick up as much speed as you can and trust that that speed and the glide of your foil is going to get you through that carve. So you pick up speed, you start carving with your hips. The moment you're in the first part of the carve, you want to let out that power over your head and keep the wing here floating over your head doing nothing, right? Now, how do we get up here? Well, one thing we definitely don't want to do is we don't want to throw the wing open, so no big moves like that. We don't want sudden moves. What we actually want is, as we're going around, start carving. The moment you're in the first part of your carve, slowly, gently bring the wing over your head. Now you can keep it here so the wing just flies over your head, absolutely neutral, and you're continuing to take that carve around. When you're following with the carve around, your goals now are to keep that board as flat as possible, maintaining your speed throughout the carve. You don't want it diving or rising too much throughout your carve, right? We want to stay nice and flat. And you're focusing to keep your carve equal the whole way around. That means don't make it nice and wide here, and the moment you get to the end, you shoot around to get through. You want to be nice and smooth throughout your whole turn. The more you're turning, you get it, you're going around, everything here from the hips, right? No leaning out, not too much weight anywhere. You're staying over your board, using those hips to lead the board around, trusting the speed and the carve you have, and you're going all the way around. Now, at which point do we start to activate our wing again? Well, we want to get at least to the wing line and hopefully past that a little bit. So we're now pointing downwind to the opposite direction. We switch our hands over our head here. So we have now the other hand in front. Grab the backhand, but we don't pull in yet. This is the other tip here. A lot of people, the moment they grab the wing, they pull in. This is a very sudden movement and it can many times throw you off the board again or just unbalance your foil. So what I suggest you do is the moment you have it over your head here, you go down in front of you. So now the wing is pulling me out of my turn, accelerating me out of the carve to the other direction. And the moment I have power here, I start to pull this wing nice and steadily in to me and to the back of the board, bringing me a little bit more around the carve and accelerating me even more out of that turn, saving one of the main problems, which usually is that when you reach the end of your jibe, you don't have enough speed and you drop down off the foil, right? So, as we said, you grab the wing in front of you, pull that wing in and back, and now you've finished your jibe. You're pointing in the other direction, you're sailing that way, however you are switch stance. Now, I will put another video up here in the corner somewhere, and that is to do with switching your legs, a more kind of detailed video on how to get to switch stance or come out of switch stance. But the easiest way to explain it here, quick recap, is that I like to go low on the board, again not touching the water but nice and low. Then I push on the back leg, so now I'm popping my board up, and while the board is coming up, I'm going to bring my back leg to the front. So that starts dipping my board down again, and then back leg to the front, and I finished my change. So at a faster motion, this looks, get low, you go up, up, finished. And while you do that, I suggest again, don't keep your wing too low and too much power. Keep it nice and high while you switch your legs for the first few times in order to help you with the stability. So you go back, up, and here, like nice on top of you, giving you a lot of lift, helping you stabilize and come out of that turn. And then that's it. That's the jibe, right? So let's see it one more time from the other direction, just so you get a better idea. Again, we're riding this direction, put our wing forwards, go downwind, let it pull us, accelerate us as much as possible. Then we start to carve with our hips, so we're leading with our hips, carving. Again, the carve can be nice and wide, there's no need to make it aggressive, just go where you're comfortable. So you accelerate, you go through the carve, and the moment you start carving and you're getting downwind quite a bit, you bring that wing over your head nice and smoothly, no sudden movements, over your head nice and smoothly, release the power and continue the carve. Now you're focusing completely on the board, keeping it flat and carving it around, and you're going around, around. You get to the wind line, you pass that a little bit, and now you're pointing downwind in the opposite direction, at which point you change your front hands and you put the wing down in front of you. And now the wing's already pulling me out, so that's already accelerating me and helping me stay up on my foil. And as I catch the power here, I bring it in and to the back, and I come out of my turn with a little bit of an acceleration, which makes it much more comfortable to stay on foil. Now, as I'm riding here switch stance, that's the easiest way to come out of a jibe. You come out switch stance. It's time to switch our legs, so we're going to keep the wing a bit higher over our heads. We're not going to go into full power down here. We're going to keep it higher over our heads to give us some lift and stability, and we're going to bring the board nice and low. We're going to pop it up, back leg comes to front, front comes to back, and you're out of your jibe, and that's it. So that's basically the jibe, guys. Main points here would be speed, as fast as you can go. I know it can be scary for first timers and for learning new things, but speed is your friend. Trust me on that one. Then we want to get nice and low. That's what I suggest for having a little bit more place for mistakes on our mass, right? A little bit more space for mistakes. So we get nice and low. Start the carve through the hips. No sudden big moves here. Nice carve through the hips. Lead with your hips, but keep the wing nice and open over your head. You don't need power in the wing to go around. Trust the speed and the glide of your foil. When you get around, get to the point where you're pointing already in the other direction, but downwind. Obviously, you don't need to go so far that you're pointing upwind in the other direction. That's just going to get you off the foil immediately. So you get past that wind line, pointing downwind in the opposite direction. Grab the wing in front of you, not right next to you here. Grab it in front of you and pull it into the back to accelerate yourself out of the turn and get you going nice and smoothly on the foil in switch stance. When you're in switch stance, like I said, we do have a more detailed video on that, but the basics are get low, pop up as it's coming up, back leg to front, front to back. Keep the wing high for some stability while you're learning this, and then you're out of your jibe, and that's it. Even if you touch down 1 or 2 times in the first goes and you just touch and pop it up, still counts, and you'll get better as you go. So I hope these tips help you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like. It really helps. Comment in the comments, write a comment. If any questions you have, I'll try to answer them to the best of my abilities, or even just to say hello. It does help with the YouTube algorithm. Share this video with any friends you might think it benefits or helps, or even if you just want to make fun of their jibes that they think they're doing correctly and maybe they're not. You know, I like to do that a lot. And thanks for watching. So like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and I'll see you on the water.